Now let's go into game 3.
Right.
Not as exciting as the second game, but still quite good.
Yeah, again, the Lions up against the EP Kings. The Lions are my dark horses for this tournament. Again, not missing a lot of Springbok players, but they get the most out of their players. Johan Ackerman doing fantastic things up at Ellis Park. And even though that match was fairly competitive in the first half, tight at half time, the Lions really ran away with things in the second half, which, the altitude might have got to the EP Kings players a little bit in the end. But again, a really, really impressive performance from the Golden Lions. I really think they're going to be the dark horses for this title. EP Kings, they were fairly impressive against Western Province in their first game, but unfortunately sort of ran out of gas in the second half of this match. So back to the drawing board, I think, a little bit for them. From a South African point of view, with them playing Super Rugby in the coming years, you really want them to find their feet at this level in particular. So, back to the drawing board for Luke Watson's men. I think they've got a lot of hard work to do in this tournament. Again, I don't expect them to sort of reach the playoff stages, but again, hats off to the Lions. Really impressive.
Rob, do you agree? Are the Lions going to be the dark horse in this tournament?
They're a very good side, Jen. It's taken me weeks and months to wake up to that fact. I've been a cynic for most of the season about whether they'd sort of last the pace in Super Rugby, and what happened, they actually finished it quite strongly. And they've taken that into the Currie Cup. They're scoring tries at will. The one little stumbling block now is that Warren Whiteley, their quite inspiring captain, has been called up to the Springboks, a sort of emergency cover because Willem Alberts has gone. So that leaves another hole for them to fill. But they're the sort of team who seem to sort of shrug off setbacks incredibly well. They almost revel in a sort of I wouldn't say an underdog status, because they're not underdogs. They're doing very well. But if ever something goes a little bit against them, they find somebody else to somehow, as Garen said, to sort of step in and step up. They've still got some pretty good loose forwards. So I think that with people like Jaco Kriel, Derek Minnie, Willie Brits, they can still put together a decent loose trio for their big game against Western Province next weekend. But Lions looking in good shape, playing really, really nice rugby.